Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my surprising reads of 2021. I can say that I found a number of books which were so much different from the things which I read in the past year, and there are some books which just swept me off my feet and made me love them so much because I did not expect them to be so good. You might have heard me talking about these books in various recommendations videos throughout the year before, and there are also some other books which I have not talked that much enough about. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the books right away. The first book is a literary fiction, and I've talked about this book many times in the first half of the year, and it is Lone Wolf by Jodi Picoult, and it is definitely the book which surprised me the most this year because I got this book for free in one of my sponsored videos, and when I read this book I was totally swept off my feet because I did not expect it to be so good. Here we deal with a family in which the parents have undergone a divorce and they are living separately. The wife has married again and she has a separate family right now, and the husband is taking care of their daughter. Their elder child, who's a son, is working in Thailand as an English teacher, and what happens is one day when the father and daughter are going in the car, they face an accident and the father goes into a coma. So because of this thing, all the four members of the family are brought together and some things start getting revealed. The family is already broken into fragments, and the truths that are going to be revealed right now can shatter the family even apart and shatter the four people also into very fine pieces. But will they hold the family together and support each other or not, and what is going to happen to each and every one of these four characters is the actual premise of the book. Everything about this book is completely awesome and I enjoyed it totally. I also have a gush review about this book which is spoiler free, and if I have reviews for any of the books that I'm talking about in this video, all of them will be linked down in the description. Please do go and check them out if you're interested. So yeah, this is easily the book which surprised me the most in 2021. The next one is a science fiction book, and it is Prey by Michael Crichton. I'm sure that I've talked about this book also many times in the first half of the year because I enjoyed it very much, and it is very much underhyped. Michael Crichton is actually very famous for his Jurassic Park books because of the movies, but I can say that this one is just as good as those movies also, because in this one we deal with this high-tech company who end up producing these nano robots in swarms so that they can think on their own, they can reproduce on their own, and they can just do whatever they want without the intervention of human knowledge at all. So they are very terrifying in that way. You can see that it is very risky, right? And when that kind of a technology is actually put into use, what are the things that are actually going to happen is the premise of this book, and I can say that it is frustrating but very enjoyable if you like that kind of frustration. This book also has so many infodumps, but if you like learning stuff, I'm sure that those infodumps will be very enjoyable for you. And also if you're into coding, I'm sure that you're going to enjoy this book because it deals a lot with programming and technology as a whole. So it was very enjoyable for me because I'm from that industry. Even if you're not at all into any kind of stuff like that, I'm sure that this will be very enjoyable and interesting for you to read if you like something that dabbles with science and sees the outcome of it. So as a whole, this was a very frustratingly enjoyable experience and it just surprised me so much. The next one is a young adult mystery novel, and it is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, which is the first book in the Truly Devious series. I've read all the books and I love each and every one of them, but this is my most favorite of all the four books that are out until now. In this one, we follow the 16-year-old girl named Stevie Bell, who's very passionate about true crime, and she gets admitted into this very prestigious institution called Ellingham Academy, and only 50 students are admitted inside the academy each and every year. The entire trilogy actually happens inside that particular high school, and the setup of the series is super awesome. Okay, I can say that this is one of the richest written series that I've read so far, and I love Maureen Johnson's writing style very much because it is super immersive. Okay, the perfect season to read these books is the winter season, and since winter is about to end in like a month or two for us here in India, I'd highly recommend you to try this right now because it will be perfect for the season. Okay, I actually read it during the summer season, and even then it felt so amazing for me. I'm sure that if I read it right now, I'll just get the chills and the creeps at the perfect time, and it'll be an awesome seasonal read. But apart from that, the series as a whole itself is really well written, especially this first book. It will just knock you off your feet and just draw you in because it is narrated in a past and present kind of style, and both the plot lines are super interesting and equally intriguing if you ask me. It'll make you think, it'll make you theorize things, and it'll also outwit you in many instances. So as a whole, this book is really awesome and I did not expect to enjoy it that much, so it's super deserving to get a place in this list. Next one is a YA fantasy, and I cannot believe that I enjoyed this series this much. I'm very disappointed in myself because I underestimated this series, and it is The Ember Quartet by Sabaa Tahir. The first book in the series, which is An Ember in the Ashes, was a bit difficult for me to read in the first 100 pages because it was not that great for me, but after that 100-page mark, trust me, this book just hooks you and flings you into this world of darkness, terror and torch, yet you end up enjoying them because the plot of the series as well as the characters that the author writes about are super interesting captivating, and they just make you want to be there along with these characters and help them. Okay, it is really amazing. I have an entire series review for this one. Please do check it out. If you're into reading fantasy books, especially YA fantasy, I'm sure you will love this. If it's a bit darker, I'm sure that this quartet can make it as an adult fantasy series itself because it is that well written. I can easily say that Sabaa Tahir is a wonderful story writer. The characters that she builds and the things that she puts them through makes us want to love them so much and be there for them no matter what happens, because they just feel so real and they are very relatable in multiple instances. I can say that this is one of those series after so many months that I felt so much connected to all the main characters, and I wanted good things to happen to each and every one of them because I cared that much for them. Each and every successive book in the series gets better and better, and towards the climax it is just mind-blowingly awesome. I just enjoyed this entire series. The first book alone was a 4-star for me because of the first 100 pages, and all the other 3 books are 5 stars. So yeah, I can easily say that I'm shooketh and my mind is blown, so this deserves a place here. The next one is a YA contemporary trilogy, and it is the Lara Jean series by Jenny Han. It starts with To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and all the 3 books in this series have Netflix adaptations. I've not even watched one of the movies, but I've heard that all the 3 of them are really good, and I can easily say that they will be good because these books are super great when it comes to the quality, and the writing style of Jenny Han is simply very amazing. Okay, I did not expect to enjoy these books because they are very easily romances, and I don't usually enjoy reading YA romances that much, but in this series the author has many other elements just apart from the romance and the friendships alone. Family is a great focus when it comes to Lara Jean, our main character in this series, and I can say that though she is not the most positive person in the world, the way in which she sees the world is very colorful. Okay, it's not often that we see YA books in which the characters see the world to be very colorful and bright and lush always, but our main character here, Lara Jean, she always sees the world with such colorful and bright eyes because the books are written from her point of view. The world is really rich, it is very lush, it is completely comfortable and such a happy place to live in. So if you do like reading YA contemporary books, this is a series which you need to read because I'm sure that you will love it. And also I listened to all these 3 books as audiobooks on Storytel, and it was just an amazing experience as a whole. The next one is yet another young adult contemporary, and it is an Indian book. I'm talking about The Boy Who Loved by Durjoy Datta. Okay, I was not at all expecting to love this book this much because I was so much misled for reading this book because everyone talks about this book to be a romance, but I can say that it has romance, but that's not the main thing about this book. Okay, this book as well as the second book in this series called The Boy with a Broken Heart, both of them focus on 2 different characters, and the books are actually about the characters and how their life is rather than the romance that is happening in their life. If you like really good Indian dramas, I'm sure that you will love this book. Okay, personally I love this book, and I can say that each and every Indian teen will find this book super relatable because all of us have gone through at least one of the things that happen in this book, and it is very usual. Okay, some of the things which we experience as teens might even traumatize us, and we see those things happening to the main character in this one. The author actually just makes it very blunt and straightforward always, and even the confusions that the main character is experiencing in this one is really clearly laid out for us because the book is written in the form of a journal. We just read the journal entries of our main character Raghu in this one, and I'm sure that many of us will be able to relate with this book because it is easily written with each and every Indian teenager out there inside the author's mind. I think I read this one as well as the second book in the series in like 2 or 3 days each, and they were totally worth it. The next one is a non-fiction book, and it is The Power of Posture by Renu Mahtani. I read this on my Kindle from Prime Reading. I think it is available for free in Kindle Unlimited also. Please check it out if you are interested. Now this book actually talks about the various postures that we have to pay attention to while we are doing some very useful routine works that we do throughout the day, starting from just sitting in front of the computer screen and working to just walking around idly. I can say that this book was very useful for me because I started paying attention to some of the things that I'm doing, not in a conscious way, but they end up affecting me in a really great ways, because if I sit down and work for a while, say like 4 or 5 hours, and then I stand up, I just start feeling this lower back pain. I'm sure that many of us have experienced this while we've started working because we are not used to sitting in the same place and working for a long stretch of hours before we start working. But if you read this book, I'm sure that you'll be able to see some of the very easy exercises that we can do just while sitting on the chair itself and not doing that much movement. They are not difficult to do. At the same time, they don't take that much of your free time. So if you have a sedentary job, please do go forward and try this book. I'm sure that it will be super useful. The next one is a standalone dystopian book, and it is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I read this book as well as I watched the movie of the book which stars Will Smith, and I can easily say that the movie is not even half as good as the book because the book is so much greater in multiple ways. It has so many layers, and you can just keep on reading this book again and again because it does not feel boring at all. It is really frustrating in many instances, because it is dystopian. At the same time, it is very, very interesting. Here we follow this main character of ours named Robert Neville, who's the only person that survives on Earth because all the other people have been either killed or turned into vampires because of this particular bacteria, and he's the only human being who's living right now, and he has to deal with all the other people who have turned into vampires because they are also trying to turn him into a vampire or consume his blood in order for them to survive. It is very practical, and I can say that this is one of the most thought out books that I've read so far, because there's not even a single thing about this book which just feels out of logic in any way at all. And also this book was published in the early 1960s or 70s, and it does not feel like that old story in any way at all. I'm sure that this is very, very fresh and so much one of a kind. Even the climax of this book is pretty much satisfying for me because I did not think about any other way in which the book can end. It is obviously a dystopian, and always bad things only happen inside the book. And I personally don't enjoy reading dystopian books at all, so this was definitely a surprising read for me. The next one is a historical fiction, and it is A Family Christmas by Katie Flynn. This book actually happens during the time of the First World War, and we follow these two children named Jimmy and Mo, who are living with their aunt, and she's taking care of them because their father is working in South America and he's sending their aunt money in order to take care of the kids. But instead of taking care of the kids, she just makes them do all the household work, and sometimes she doesn't even allow them to go to school. We see our other main character, who's this woman that works as a teacher in the nearby area, and she ends up saving these two children and getting them out of there. The story actually starts happening during a Christmas Eve, and it ends up several years after. As a whole, I can say that this is a very heartwarming book, and I don't think I would have picked up this book if I had not received it as a free copy in one of my sponsored videos. So I'm so glad that it happened, and I've also recommended this book multiple times before in the channel. If you want to read some heartwarming book, please do go forward and try this, because I'm sure that it'll be a very cozy and fun read. The last book in this list is a YA contemporary romance, and it is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I listened to this as an audiobook in June or July of this year, and I can say that I enjoyed it very much. Okay, this book is widely compared to Red, White and Royal Blue, but I can say that this book is nothing like that. They have the same premises, but apart from that, nothing is similar to both these books, because in Red, White and Royal Blue, we just follow this very entertaining romance throughout, but the separate stories of the characters is not given that much of a focus. The romance is the main plot over there, but here we see the two main characters separately and what have happened to them in their respective lives and why they are the people that they are right now. If you just like very entertaining romance, I'd not recommend this to you, because it is not as much entertaining as Red, White and Royal Blue, but compared to other aspects which I usually like, especially the character work, I enjoyed this a lot more compared to that one. So yeah, if you're into reading romance for the characters and not just for the romance alone, I'm sure that you will like this, and it was easily a surprising read for me. So yes guys, those are the 10 books which surprised me the most when it comes to 2021. I've read far better books than these in the past year, but I did not expect these books to end up making a mark in my mind. And if you read any of these books, please do let me know down in the comments how you felt about them. If you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.